Hello there. In this video, we are going to take a look at an aspect of the CuPython package that has to do with how it reports data records when you've completed a simulation. So let's go through the following example here. First of all, of course, we need to import Q, and we need to define some kind of network model. In this case, for our arrival distributions, I've done a deterministic of 5. That means that the interspacings of the inter-arrival times will be 5 units of time, and the deterministic will be 4. The service distributions will also be deterministic with a value of 4, and the number of servers at this service is just 1. We'll set a seed, we'll set up our simulation, we'll run the simulation for some amount of time, then we'll get all records, and here I'm just going to print all records for record. So let's go how to collect. Perfect. So one record appears. However, there's actually still another record in the system that has not been reported to you at this stage. So let me read from the documentation here. And I should quickly say, no, we'll get to that. I'll read something from the documentation about incomplete records. So by default, only completed data records are collected. That is, data records where all the information where all the recorded information is known because the recorded information has been completed. That is, for a service record, the customer has left the node after service. For the bulk record, the customer has left the node after bulking. If the simulation ends with some customers still waiting, still receiving service, or still blocked after a service, their incomplete data record is not recorded by default. Okay, so in this case, I think it's just for how simple our simulation is, there shouldn't be any of some of those other things like bulking and blocking and stuff like that, or reneging. This should all be because there's really just a customer that has not had their service completed yet. So how do we get this out? Added just recently in version 3.2.6, I believe it is, very recent to the current date, is another option has been added to the get all records method, which is this include incomplete. And include incomplete, as the name suggests, is going to also go grab the incomplete records for us to be included in the records. So we had one record before. If we run it now we can see that there are 2 records and that some of the information is missing. So in this record ID number 2, which is the first one listed here, it says record type is incomplete, and that's because, let's take a look. I mean, it doesn't have a service time. It does have a service start date, but we will have it only started its service at 11. We know based on the service distribution being deterministic 4 that it shouldn't complete until sometime after a time of 11, but we only simulated until a time of 11, so it couldn't have completed. And hence, it's an incomplete record. For some types of analysis, you will want to include the incomplete records, not just the complete ones, for analyzing systems, especially systems where you're interested in some kind of non-long-running equilibrium. So with that, I hope that provides you with another tool to do your analysis. When I first got started with using Q, I found that you could extract the missing records, but you had to write a little bit more code to pull it out of the simulation object yourself. Now you can just pass in this argument. To be frank, for a lot of what I do, this would probably be better as a default of true, but for a lot of people, maybe false here is useful. Let me know in the comments what you think the default should be. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.